Next, let's talk about getting hitched up to the trailer. Now, it is the responsibility of the driver to make sure that things are hitched properly, okay? Even if you have somebody else hitch it up for you, you want to come out and inspect it. So let's talk about A to Z how this should look. Okay, first, you see I'm all lined up here. Again, standard, we got a 2 5/16 inch ball. If you do have a pintle ring that you had us do custom, that's a different procedure. But if you specified that, you're probably familiar with that. Back to the ball hitch, we'll want to pull the pin before we drop it onto the ball and get this pulled all the way up. That opens the mouth of this receiver. And now we can drop down onto the ball. And as soon as the hitch is, or the jack is off the ground, I like to lift it up. Okay, one of the things that a lot of guys accidentally do is they forget to do this, and you don't have to keep winding by hand with this as a drop jack, so you can just raise it up there real quick, push the pin back through that's hanging on the chain. Now that's up and out of the way. You know, a lot of guys forget to do that, and they drive away and catch a speed bump or a curb and thrash this whole thing, and it needs to be repaired. Okay, back over to the hitch. Now we've got this secured and up and out of the way. We've got to make sure the ball is secure. So we drop this down. You want to make sure you pin it so it keeps that locked and secured. So now it's pinned. The mouth can't open. I know I'm locked down as I can pull up and down. I'm in good shape here. Next step is the chains. The two chains should be crossed over each other. So I take the left-hand chain, swing it under, and make connection to the frame of the truck. At the access point, take the right-hand chain, hit the left-hand access lock point, get it chained in. And these little clips, I'm gonna make sure they're not hung up back here. That's not gonna stay. Bring it so the retainer is holding it in position. It's not gonna fall off on me. Next, this trailer, as our EAGLE-200 models, EAGLE-300 models, EAGLE-600 models, all have brakes. And this is the safety breakaway. If some reason the trailer came off the ball and chains cave loose, the trailer's left behind, it's gonna pull this pin out because we're gonna connect this to the truck, which will activate the brakes of the trailer and make it stop. Okay, now you don't want to hook this up generally to the same place where you hooked your chains, because if you run this right next to your chain hook, it's gonna beat up on it, it's gonna thrash through this eventually, and it'll break. Okay, I like to connect it to the hitch mechanism, like here, or you can run it through the frame somewhere on your trailer, or on your truck, I should say. Or you can get a big eye hook here and connect it to something on the truck. Here again, I've gone through the nice big hitch mechanism, and then I just got to reconnect it here and create the loop. I like to take it one step further as I double connect it, and that allows it to slide back and forth so you can tension it up. I don't want this hanging down on the ground, so I can pull it back. Still got a nice loop. I'm in good shape there. And by the way, if your chains are a little bit long, you can disconnect them and just twist them, and it shortens it up a little bit. You don't want them tight like that they're gonna bind. You want them just at a medium length there. That's pretty good. And lock it in. Okay, lastly, we want to provide power to our trailer. So we have the 7-pin connection plug, as I mentioned before, and we're going to plug that in. And at that point, before I hit the road, I'm going to check the lights. I'm going to turn my lights to park so that the marker lights all come on before I drive. I'm going to check my turn signals left and right. And of course, if it's dark out, I'm going to turn my lights all the way on. But we definitely want to make sure that those turn signals are functioning left and right, and that the brake lights are coming on with your foot. These are all, again, daily inspections you need to do before you hit the road for everybody's safety and your own. Now, speaking of personal safety, let's take a moment and talk about your personal protective equipment. Now, PPE is a personal thing, and you as the operator are responsible for that, okay? But if you look at what I'm doing here, I've got my safety glasses I can put on, protect my eyes. That is absolutely the number one. You might want to wear a face shield if you want to protect yourself from back blast, especially if you're doing some indoor jetting where your face is close to the cleanout. I like to have my arms covered. I'm always wearing gloves. You might want a double glove, put your rubber gloves underneath gloves, whatever you want to do. I like to have my legs covered. You want to wear some good shoes or boots to cover your feet. Again, personal protective equipment is something that we've all got to take seriously, especially again with a high pressure water jetting piece of equipment.